welcome back to my channel. My name is Justina, and here I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you through my DIYs. As you see by the title, I have 10 Valentine's DIYs that are so fun, easy to do, and very affordable because a lot of this stuff came from Dollar Tree. Now, this video is a blast from the past where I took my past videos and put it all into one video for you to help inspire you get into the creative side of Valentine's Day and make some of your own home decor. Now, if you are new here, I hope you stick around by clicking that big red subscribe button down below. And if you aren't new here, I hope you get inspiration from this video. Now, I hope you enjoy watching. Thank you so much for coming along with me today, and as always, let's art today. For my first DIY, I have this 14-inch wire wreath form. I also have this microfiber cloth that is located in the auto section, and this sparkly love you sign. All materials were purchased at Dollar Tree. I will take that microfiber cloth and place it all around the wreath form. I will pull it tight around it and then hot glue it around the wreath form. Talking about hot glues, my Sure Bonder finally came through this Christmas, and I absolutely love this thing. It has a dual heating setting and it has safe mode, which later on in the DIYs I forgot that it had. Here is what the wreath form looks like, hot glued all in the back. I'm flipping it over, and then I will be hot gluing the love you sign right on top of the microfiber cloth. Now, if you want, this project would be done just like this, but knowing myself, I needed to add at least one more element to this sign. And for that extra touch, I will be using these pearl beads. I just add a little dollop to the sign and then add the pearl bead on top of the hot glue. I am just doing this to the heart of the sign. Like I said earlier, this step is unnecessary, so if you just want to do the 3 pieces, this sign will cost you $3. But since I am adding the beads, I do add an extra $1. Even though I didn't use all of it, I still come under $5. And here's how this one turned out. I absolutely love it. It's so simple yet so eloquent that it looks high class, at least from my perspective. I love how the little pearls just gives it that extra touch, and it was so easy to do. This literally only cost me $4 to make, and if you love it as much as I do, please leave me a comment down below with the saying DIY number 1. For my next DIY, I am using this 11 by 14 photo frame. I am removing all of the packaging and the contents inside of the photo frame. After everything is removed, I'm putting the glass piece to the side because I will not be using it. Instead, I will be using this black and white tape that I've had for many years. Now, to save even more money, you can use black and white paint and paint the back of the photo frame. Here's how it looks all taped up, and I absolutely love this look. I'm adding the frame back on. After I add the frame, I have this heart decor piece that Dollar Tree also carries. I'm going to hot glue it to the front of the frame, and there you go. This piece actually costs $2 to make. If you do not have that tape, you can always paint on the black and white stripes, and it came out so gorgeous and I love it. If you love it too, be sure to put DIY number 2 in the comments below. DIY number 3. I have these 4x4 photo frames which are absolutely gorgeous and so cute. I also have these new Valentine's Day sayings window clings that you can put all over your windows. I purchased 2 of those because I just love the font and the text on it. After I remove all the packaging and the contents inside of the photo frames, I'm taking some of my old scrapbook paper that I had on hand that I purchased at Michael's for $2. I'm just trying to find which one that I want, and then I rip it out of that little booklet. Now that I have the scrapbook paper that I want, I folded it down and then cut it to fit the size of the little border that it originally comes with. Now I will hot glue that border onto the scrapbook paper, and here is where I didn't realize that my Surebonder hot glue gun turned off for safety purposes, and I thought I did something wrong, so I went in with my good old hot glue gun to hot glue that paper onto that border. Then I inserted everything back into the picture frame, and I did the exact same thing with the second picture frame. Now I'm adding the window clings to the glass of the picture frame. Now at first I was going to use that big saying, but I didn't like how it looks, so now I'm just adding the love. I cut the arrow off of the love, centered the love sign in the middle of the picture frame, and pressed down firmly. Next I'm adding the arrow back to the picture frame on the side, and I will be adding a heart to the other side. And since these are made for glass, all I had to do was press down firmly and it stuck into place. Like I said earlier, I do the same process for the second picture frame. The only difference is I use a different scrapbooking piece of paper and a different saying from a different window cling. But to save even more money, you could only purchase one of the window clings and use one picture frame, and it only cost $2. And look how these turned out. They are so adorable, and if you don't like big bold signs, these would make a perfect little statement in your Valentine's Day decor pieces. If you love these as much as I do, be sure to leave DIY number 3 in the comment section below. Moving right into DIY number 4, I have this pumpkin sign and also this square photo frame. I'm removing the packaging and the contents in it because all I need is the frame itself. I do show you that I've made my own picture frame in the past using 2 sets of Dollar Tree rulers, and that's the one I'm going to use. But you can use the picture frame, it works just as good. Now to paint my picture frame, I will be using another Christmas present of mine, which are these folk art home decor chalk paints. That's a mouthful. Anyways, these chalk paints are so good. They go on so smooth with good coverage, and the drying time is so short that I need in my craft, and I highly suggest using these paints. I am not sponsored by any means, but I'm just letting you know my opinion, and I really love this paint, so highly recommend it. I am now painting the pumpkin sign, and with each piece I did give them 2 coats of paint to get good coverage. Next, I'm taking this XOXO sign and I'm trying to remove the galvanized part off of it because I want to use that for a different project, and I'm just using the MDF board underneath. I will be painting the XOXO sign using the Imperial Red chalk paint. Like I said earlier, I do give everything 2 coats of paint to make sure that I have good coverage on everything. And the last thing for this project, I will be using this other galvanized lips piece that I purchased at Dollar Tree. I will be painting it the same red as I used for the XOXO, giving it 2 coats and letting it dry completely. After the paint has completely dried, I'm taking that same red and adding a little bit of black acrylic paint to it to give a darker hue or tone. And then I am adding it to the lips, giving it some shadow and a little bit of depth. Now it's time to assemble everything together. I take the backboard and the frame and I hot glue it together. Now I will be adding the XOXO and the lips to the sign. I'm adding some hot glue to the back of it and pressing down so everything adheres together. And here's how it looks just as is, but knowing me, I still have to add a little bit more detail. So I'm taking my Posca acrylic paint pens and I'm adding a little dash to the outside of the lettering, making it look like stitches. I take that same Posca pen and I start outlining highlights that I want to be on the lips. And since these are really big lips, they need to be big highlights. I then fill in the highlights using the same chalk paint that I used earlier. And lastly, I just add a little bit more details to the lips and the frame, and here's how it turns out. This one is my absolute favorite, and if it's your favorite too, don't forget to put DIY number 4 in the comment section below. DIY number 1, I have this beautiful picture frame that is hollowed out that says welcome to our beautiful chaos, that I purchased from Dollar Tree, and everything in this video I did purchase from Dollar Tree. I will remove the backing from the picture frame, and I was struggling a little bit because I didn't know that the back of the picture frame was attached to the sides of the picture frame because it is hollowed out. After I remove the backing, I take the glass out and I'm removing the words with using nail polish remover. If you don't have nail polish remover, I have seen crafters use a scraper or a blade to remove the words. Next, I'm taking some hot glue, adding dabs of it into the corners of the picture frame, and then adding the glass back into the picture frame. To decorate the inside of my picture frame, I added some chunky silver glitter, then about a half a bag of these heart confetti, and lastly some Valentine's table scatters, which are these little plastic hearts, lips, and diamonds, which are really cute. Then I try to make sure that I place everything into the center of the glass so that I can reinsert the backing of the picture frame. And just like that, it snaps right into place, and now you have this really cute Valentine's Day shaker picture frame or hollow box or even a shadow box, whatever you like to call it, and I think it's so cute. But I'm going to add a little bit more detail to the front. I have this DIY craft kit that has a bunch of X's and O's, but the O's are heart. I'm showing you here it does come with extra stuff, but I am just going to paint mine using my chalk paint in the colors red, imperial red, and white. Now, as you see here, I'm painting the X's in white, and I will then add the red paint to the hearts or the O's. Now, the question of the day is, what colors do you use to decorate your Valentine's Day decor? Is it reds? Is it pinks? Is it all the colors? I would love to know. Leave me a comment down below. After the paint has completely dried, I'm taking my acrylic paint pen in the color black, and I am outlining the X's and the hearts, but in a broken manner, almost like stitching but with longer lines. Now all that's left to do is to attach my X's and O's to the picture frame, and I'm doing that by adding a bunch of hot glue to the back of the wooden sign. And then lastly, I'm adding one white rose to the upper left hand corner, and that is it. And here's how this project had turned out, and I absolutely love it. It's so simple, it's so easy, and it's just a great filler for your Valentine's Day decor. It's also a multi-purpose decor piece because you can play with it by shaking it, and I just love it. Let me know if you love this project as much as I do in the comment section below by saying DIY number 1. Jumping into DIY number 2. Now this DIY might be a little strange for some of you, but just hear me out. Me and my family decorate with skulls and everything a little bit spooky all year round, so this DIY is perfect for our family. But the concept behind this is to use things that you have on hand. So I had purchased these skull tea lights about 2 to 3 years ago, and I'm just going to repurpose them for my Valentine's Day decor. You don't always have to buy brand new things and make them over. You can just use the things you have on hand. So as you see here, I'm taking the tea light candles, and I have 2 halves of those plastic eggs that you get at Dollar Tree at the Easter time, and I'm just hot gluing that portion of the egg inside of the tea light holder. After I hot glued the eggs down, I have some of these foam roses that I've been using throughout my whole Valentine's Day decor, and I'm just hot gluing it onto the egg to make like a flowery dome on top of the skull, which I think is so cute. And here's how they turned out. I absolutely love them. Now, like I said earlier, I like to decorate with skulls in my household, but if you don't, Dollar Tree has all different kinds of tea light holders that you can use the same concept for this project, and I think it will turn out just as great. And these are great fillers. They're good for tea trays all over the area, wherever you like. Make it your own. Hopping into DIY number 3, I am making another small Valentine's Day sign, and I'm just repurposing this leftover piece or MDF board from a previous sign that said Home Sweet Home that I used on many projects already. Now I'm taking some sheepskin chalk paint, and I will paint it all in that color, which I'm starting to really love all around my house. After the paint has completely dried, I have one of these white felt hearts left over from a previous project, and I'm just hot gluing that down to the board. Next, I'm taking a red glittery foam heart and hot gluing that down to the felt heart. I had found these laser cut words in Dollar Tree in their crafter square section, and I'm just showing you that I take one out and hot glue it into the center of the 2 hearts. Now I'm painting in the word love using my white acrylic paint pen, and I just used the pen because it was easier. The word was really small for a paintbrush, so that's why I'm using my paint pen. Next, I'm going in with my black acrylic paint pen and just filling in that little line underneath the word love and the heart. I did add some stitching around the border using that same paint pen, and here's how it turned out. I absolutely love this sign. Even though it was so simple and easy, it really is a statement piece, and it does remind me of scrapbooking, because when you scrapbook you add layers of paper on top of each other and it comes out looking so nice. Does anybody else still scrapbook, or am I still the only one who loves scrapbooking? Let me know down in the comment section below. Moving into DIY number 4, which has to be the easiest DIY that anyone can make. I have some of these foam hearts in a 12 count and some of these poster letters. And I will be making large conversation hearts. And as you see here, I'm just pulling out red, pink, and purple, and I will show me decorating 3 of them, because if I show you all 12 of them being decorated, this video will be an hour and nobody has time for that. For the purple conversation heart, I'm decorating it using XOX, and I'm hot gluing the letters to the foam heart. Now I suggest using a low temperature hot glue gun for this because it is foam and the hot glue can burn the foam. Next, I'm taking a white acrylic paint pen and I'm making little stitches all around the heart, and that is it for this one, and it is absolutely perfect. For the pink conversation heart, I first add the letters to the center of the heart so that I can evenly space out the letters, and I spell the word cute. Now remember, you can use stickers to add to the hearts or even freehand it, do whatever you like. I just had these poster stickers for a long time, so now I am finally putting them to good use. And lastly, I'm adding that same acrylic white paint marker and adding stitches to the outside of the heart. And for our red conversation heart, I'm just spelling out the word love, adding the stitching, and that is it. I did go in with some others and add black stitching to the heart, and I kind of like those a little better. And here's how all of them turned out. I did make more than I should have or more than I needed, but I love them and I can't wait to hang them all over my home. Here are a few already hung up on my wall, and I just used scotch tape on the back of it and they are holding pretty nicely. Here are some more, and I just noticed that 2 of them say the same exact thing right next to each other, so I have to go back and change those out. But aren't these so cute? And for our 5th and final DIY, I am making a large conversation heart banner. I have some of those conversation hearts, some felt hearts, and I found this Christmas ribbon that works perfectly for this project. I am taking that ribbon, pulling it all out. I believe it was 9 feet. I don't use all 9 feet, but I use majority of it. After I found the center of my ribbon, all I am doing is hot gluing everything to the ribbon. I first start off with this pink conversation heart, and I'm just adding a little bit of hot glue. It does get stuck to my table, but it pops right off. Next, I'm adding the felt hearts right next to the conversation hearts, leaving 1 to 2 finger spacing in between. And then on top of the felt heart, I will add these glittery pink foam hearts to the felt, and I continue this pattern until the banner is completely filled. And here's how this banner turned out. I absolutely love it. I love that it's a larger banner that you can hang over a large window or outside on your patio or even in a larger kitchen. I really love that about this banner. If largeness is not for you, then you can always adjust and make it smaller, but I think it turned out so adorable. The items that I will use to make this booth is this cute sign that is so adorable. I just love the spinning part in the center. One says for free and the other side says 25 cents. Next, I will be using these wooden trays and also these 3 wooden crates. Now I painted them black because I used them for a previous project, but this is how they normally look. And lastly, these 2 wooden pieces that are just called craft wood. All these materials I purchased at the Dollar Tree. Now it's time to paint everything. I'm going to prime everything using my chalk paint. You can use any kind of paint you like, but I'm just giving everything a good solid 1 coat of paint. Here are all the boxes primed. There are 2 extra boxes, but I ended up not using them. Time to add the pretty little details to these wood pieces. I'm just adding some stripes to this craft wood pieces, going slightly slanted motion to look like pink candy canes. Now I used a lot of pinks, reds, and purples for this project, but whatever colors you use, I think it still will turn out so awesome. When I was done painting the stripes, I went back in with a red paint marker and I just added a border around them. Some solid, some dashed, and they came out looking like this. Aren't they so adorable? Next, I will be painting these 2 trays. I first go in with that same pink paint and I'm just outlining the edges of the trays. These trays are going to be a shelf for my kissing booth, so I wanted to add more details on the inside of these trays. I'm adding these stripes to the back lip of the trays using pink and purple paints. Now I'm adding some details to the outside of the trays. I'm taking a paint marker and making little hearts in pink and purple all over the front. I also add little dashes and dots to this crate. I just think it adds something whimsical and it's cute. This is how the trays turned out and I just think they're so adorable. I added some more details to the ends of the tray, but I just wanted to add one more element, which are these foam hearts that I just hot glued into the center of the tray. Moving into these little wooden crates, I will be painting the inside of the crates first using this lilac chalk paint. And to paint the front faces of those wooden crates, I'm going in first with my pink and then I will be going in with some red. And here's how these turned out. I think they're so cute. 2 of them are pink, red, pink, and 1 of them is red, pink, red. Lastly, for painting, I will be painting on the kissing booth sign itself. I removed the ribbon and the sticker on the back. Now I'm going in with my paint markers and I'm adding paint on top of the details on the sign itself. I add red paints, filled up some hearts, the lips, and then I go in with the purple paint pen and I add more to the hearts and little dashes on the sign. Now that the paint has completely dried on all these pretty things, it is time to assemble them together. I first lay out all the pieces before permanently attaching them to each other. I flip those 2 wooden pieces over to see how far up I want them on the sign. I take those wooden crates, some hot glue, and I'm going to attach them to each other side by side. I am using hot glue to attach everything together, but if you want something stronger and longer lasting, I suggest using E6000 or some wood glue, but my hot glue just worked fine. Now I'm lining up those wooden pieces, turning it around, adding the hot glue, trying to make it as even as possible. I am a little slanted, but I don't mind at all. Now I'm adding the kissing booth sign, once again using my hot glue gun, attaching one part first and then going in and attaching the second part. Time to add the shelves to the kissing booth. I first attach each shelf together, then I attach it to the kissing booth backboard. And to hide those holes on the sign of the kissing booth, I just add 2 red foam balls. Here's how the kissing booth turned out. I absolutely love this kissing booth. I think it's so cute, so adorable, and it was so easy and fun to make. If you love it as much as I do, please hit that thumbs up button and leave me a comment down below with a pink emoji heart if you can. I would love to see a bunch of pink hearts down in my comment section.